Hey guys, this is Keasya. I am here with the beautiful Bianca Bonnie.
Getting my hair together.
Getting her hair together, of course. So obviously, I first want to talk about. First, I want to say I love your album.
Thank you.
By the way, and we just want you to tell us about the whole entire process.
Right.
What, how did everything go from writing your music and just the production and everything like that?
Well, I basically put the whole project together. It's like something I could do in my sleep because I write music. So I had a project called The Ninth Year before this one came out, and it was actually like a mixtape. And I just wanted my fans, the fans that follow me and knew about my music before Love and Hip Hop, and the ones who started to get to know me season 6. I wanted them to have something to actually start listening to, like a whole full project, like some product. I didn't really have music out before The Ninth Year and 10 Plus, and 10 Plus is out right now, but before that, like when I was like kind of on a hiatus and then just finding my way and before Love and Hip Hop, I didn't really have music out, and it was due to other prior things like with bad management and people I worked with in the past. But now that I have that out, I just want to get the fans to actually hear what I'm capable of doing.
Of course. And so where did the name 10 Plus come from?
Well, like I said, I had a project out The Ninth Year, which was 9 years from Chicken Noodle Soup.
Right.
Was
yes, of course.
a hit single I did 9 years, and then 10 Plus was just the 10 plus years because we dropped it. It was already 10 years, and then it was like a few months later. But I actually put 11 songs on there, so it made it like it made it like 10 plus.
Well, I'm definitely excited. This is I feel like your time. It's been some time, and we excited for you.
I mean, timing is everything. You can't rush the process. Nicki Minaj was in the game, and she was running it for a lot of years, and then, Remy came home, and then Cardi came out, and now it's a bunch of other females coming out and breaking out. So I feel like the time is actually right now because it was a standstill in a point in the game where it was no other females really making any noise. Now it's other females out, so it is the time to, be able to come out. It's, a perfect timing.
And that's so it's a perfect segue into what I'm about to ask you next. I feel like because we have the music industry can be so divided at times, but you do see people are starting to come back together,
but it's only as divided as we make it. One female will get on and then she'll be like, I'm the queen, I'm this, I'm that, because it's a male dominated industry, so they feed that into females to make them feel like you're the only one. It can only be one girl, only one person could be hot. But at the end of the day, a bunch of girls could be hot because I can't look at one person and say, that person reminds me of me. A million girls in the world can't look at that one person and say, that girl reminds me of me. No, it's different girls, different people look different. So you need a variety of women to be like, I relate to this person, or I look like this person, or this person music I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? There's different genres of things. You can't just relate to one woman or one person in the whole entire rap industry. It doesn't work like that. Like with the males, it's different rap males that you may like, and you be like, oh, I like Drake music, or oh, I like Young Jeezy music, or oh, I like P Diddy music. Whoever music is different genres, is different types of music to listen to. So it shouldn't ever be like that.
And I feel like that's one of the questions I was going to ask you about. What would you change? And I'm assuming that's something you would change. It's just like having women. When new men come into the industry and male artists come into the industry, there's never a question of who's king and this and that. It's always just like
it's always like a king of their town or king of their neighborhood.
Right, there's not a king of the whole
of that whole rap industry.
Right.
I mean, if it was, everybody would say like a Jay-Z, like he's one of the,
of course, and he's respected.
The Godfather, the king. People say that, but at the end of the day, like you're saying, like T.I., he's the king of Atlanta, and there's different artists that are the king of their place. Like it's always one person they're trying to say is one queen of the rap game. It doesn't really work like that, but it's always portrayed that way. But now it is doors opening for different females, and I like that because I am a female in this industry, and I would love doors to be open. A lot of other artists did pave the way for other females to come in. So it's better that times are changing now, and people you could be on Instagram and be a dope rapper and have a voice. So you don't have to wait on a label or somebody to say, I'm this person. No, you keep rapping, you keep making videos, you keep putting your stuff out, and if people like you, you'll grow a fan base, and then eventually everybody will catch on.
This is the perfect time for just overall like music and women in music, and I want to know who is one of your favorites and who inspired you, like out of all the female MCs of the past, like who is one of your biggest inspirations?
Well, definitely Missy Elliott was one of my biggest inspirations. I would say Queen Latifah too. Like, you know, they just paved the way for different things. Like, not only doing the music, like Missy, she came from having to dance. Like, I always wanted to, when I was young and I used to watch a Missy video, I used to be like, Lord, please figure out how I'm gonna dance in her video. Because I was a dancer at first before doing music when I was a kid, around 9, 10, 11. I was always in dance groups or dancing Alvin Ailey. So it was like, I was like, how can I get in this Missy Elliott video? Like, that culture, the way her video is, that's how I want it to be. That's how when I grew up, I wanted my videos to look, the production, the dances, the everything about it. That's what I wanted. So that's definitely a person who inspired me. And also, like I said, like a Queen Latifah, from doing hardcore rap to, you know, crossing over into that cover girl market and that acting, like, that's things I aspire to be.
And I think you definitely can do it. You obviously you already you there.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right, you're already on TV. You got that going. You got the music game going.
Right.
You know, what other things do you want to, besides music and television, or other industries that you want to jump into?
Well, not really at the moment. You know, you gotta. I say you can be a jack of all trades, but I don't do that. I like to perfect what I'm good at and really do it, and it has to be things I love. Like, I don't do music because I'm making money off it. Yes, I'm making good money off of it, but I love to do it. I did it for 7 years, being broke and not having anything, not even having a way to pay for studio time, you know, and I still did it because that was something I loved to do. So it's like I do want to get into other things, but it's still in the music field, like, you know, take vocal coaching because I can sing a little bit, but I would like to see how far I could go with that, you know. Take acting classes. I want to get into voiceovers as well, like for cartoons, like Disney, Pixar. Like, that's one of my big dreams, you know. And I hate like telling people, you know, you don't like telling people your dreams because it's like dream snatching. But now I'm at a point where once I start talking about it more in interviews and stuff, somebody might be like, hey, that's the girl from such and such, and she would be dope for
this. Put it in the universe.
Exactly. So now that's what I'm doing because I'm at that point where I'm ready to do that.
I really do. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
So we love you on TV. Do you think that being on Love and Hip Hop has helped you or hurt you in your career?
I mean, I could never ever say Love and Hip Hop has hurt me because before I got back on Love and Hip Hop, my audience didn't really know where I was. It was a gap between Chicken Noodle Soup coming out, me being 15 years old, and then from me winning the Soul Train Award at 17, you know, to the song dying down and fading away, and then me turning. When did I get on hip hop? 2005? I mean, 2015. So I was about 24 when I actually got on the show. So it was that major gap in between, you know, doing the music, Chicken Noodle Soup, and then getting on the show. So there's no way it could have hurt me because they have a broad audience. It's 6 million viewers every Monday. That was my way of feeling like, okay, I'm going to capitalize on the platform and actually get viewers to know where I came from and who I am. Because I have followers from Chicken Noodle Soup that don't even, like, the people don't know Young B and Chicken Noodle Soup and Bianca Bonnie and Love Hip Hop. Right. Some people don't even know I'm the same person. Yep. So, yeah.
And by the way, Chicken Noodle Soup never died.
No, I didn't say it died. I said it died down.
Died down, right.
It was playing, you know, heavy in rotation, and now it still plays. Don't get me wrong, it plays everywhere. Kids that weren't even born when the song was out know the dance because they play it at birthday parties. It's a kid-friendly song. I always call it like the Black Macarena. Right. And, you know, it's a big thing in Harlem. When you go down south to parties, they still say New York, and then they play Chicken Noodle Soup.
It's one of those anthems that
it's a classic. It was a hit record, you know, so it's never gonna die. Like, people don't understand the difference between hit records and a record. I can have a record playing on the radio 100 times a day. That doesn't make it a hit record, you know. It's a difference. So you think because you hear something playing, oh, that's a hit. No, it's really a difference in numbers and in songs. So that's why I always say, like,
with the music.
Yeah. People don't know. Outsiders looking in will never know, but.
Right. Well, so you would say Love and Hip Hop is definitely done.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the show is what you make it. Like, some people get on the show for different reasons, and some people just get on the show, I don't know why. But the thing about it is, I got on the show because I knew it would be a platform with a large audience for people to see what I'm doing. Despite the drama or whatever people associate the show with or the stigmas, I know that outside the show, I know what I do. If people follow me on Instagram and my YouTube, once you become a fan of me on the show, if you're not even a fan, you're still gonna pay attention to what I'm doing. Right. So regardless, I'm still building a following. Right. I have a million followers on Instagram almost off of Love and Hip Hop.
Wow.
So a million people following me because
watching.
Of the show, you know?
Right. And I think that much as people like to, come down sometimes on Love and Hip Hop, it is creating a beautiful platform for, artists like yourself to really...
It's creating a beautiful platform for people who are not artists and to become artists. So at the end of the day...
This is very true. Like, and you've been able, like you said, to fill in the gap and like let us know where you are, what you're doing, and people love to tune in.
Absolutely.
And I feel
it's one of the top 5 television shows in the country. We just got the ratings back. Like, Love Hip Hop Miami was in that list too, but we are one of the top 5 watched shows.
The original, so.
Yes.
Yes.
So for 8 years now.
Yes.
So that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, I've been a fan since season 1 before I was even on the show. I got on season 6. Mm-hmm. So I've just always been a fan of the show and of the network, like, but
right.
I'm just glad to be a part of it, because anything that 6 million people was watching on Monday night is a good thing to be a part of.
Right. I'm not mad at that. Like I said, it's definitely catapulted to something different. I think that it's going to continue to grow.
Right.
Most people, they say what they want, but Love Hip Hop is here to stay.
Well,
and it's
people
keep
know
going.
me in UK and Switzerland and
Yes.
Australia and Morocco, and they're saying we watch Love and Hip Hop. That's a big deal,
And speaking of that, now you have all of these fans all over the world now, internationally. Do you see yourself doing an international tour with your music?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I could go to the overseas right now without a tour. I could just go to see the people, to touch the people, whatever the case may be, meet and greet fans. But I want to make sure that the music is really out for the fans to be able to, touch that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so is there anyone that you would like to work with that you have not worked with yet?
We should have went live too. Yeah, every single artist. I haven't really worked with. I've worked with artists that I personally know, that like weren't really mainstream, but it's a lot of underground artists and a lot of mainstream artists. I'm willing to work with any artist that is willing to work with me. But
well, I definitely could. I have a pick for you. I would love to see you with Drake.
Oh God, I love Drake so much.
Drake is the hit maker, and I feel like your vibe and his energy together, that would be a good collaboration.
I have a lot of. I want to work with Rihanna. I want to work with The Dream. I want to work with Young Jeezy. I want to work with Drake. I want to work with Beyonce. I want to work with Jay-Z. I want to work with all the top artists. I want to work with everybody. I want to work with Diddy. Like, he's from Harlem. So a lot of people I want to work with, the greats.
Y'all need a Harlem collab, just all of y'all together. Mm-hmm. Because Harlem energy is
Harlem
good.
Energy, that dancing.
It's good.
Diddy, I see him on his Instagram, he's still keeping
Always.
He never waking up dancing.
He is Harlem to the max. Like he never changed. But and even with Mason Cam, everything that even though it was a little confrontation, it brought some heat back to Harlem. Right, I feel like this is a good time for you to like represent Harlem again.
Always be popping.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So name the top 3 things that you that is a must-have before a show and going on the show.
Before a show, like
like the must,
or like
3 things you must have or you got to do before you go on the show or before you perform, or
3 things I must do before I go on the show. I don't know. When I'm getting ready to perform, I don't require much when I'm getting ready to perform. First of all, my nerves is always crazy every time I perform, because you never know what to expect. You never know what the crowd is giving, because I go off the crowd energy. If the crowd is kind of dead, I gotta hype them up more. So I was like, but if the crowd is crazy hype, it's always like, I just prepare myself mentally. So that's why I say meditation, that could be one of the things, because I'm just always quiet. And then once I get on that stage, I forget about everything. Yeah, I don't really require much. Like, even in my ride, I'll be like, just get me there and let me touch the fans.
Right.
So it's not really like 3 things I even require. I'm not as much of a diva as people really think I am. Mm-hmm. But I guess it will be things I require as I get bigger and bigger, like when I'm on tour, like tea.
Right.
Or certain things like that. But as of right now, it's just like I just hit the stage.
It's a mental thing for you.
Yeah, it's a mental thing. Like, I got to really prepare my mind.
Right.
To get on the stage and really, give it my all. Because anything can happen on stage. People that fell, passed out, all type of stuff. You never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. All right. So tell us something about your songwriting process. What comes first for you, the beat or the lyrics?
It depends. Like I said, I write songs a lot. So anything. I could hear a hot beat and then I could hear the music, like the lyrics in the beat, or I could just make up lyrics and then I'll send it. Like the song On a Plane on my album, I actually made up the hook on my voice note and sent it to my friend. He's a producer, Keanu, and he sent me back the beat with the song on it, and we did it off the voice note.
So it's
and we
it's really
the
it's a
song
vibe for you. Gotta feel it.
Yeah, we mixed the song off the iPhone, off the voice note.
Right.
Like, so yeah, basically it doesn't even matter like the chicken or the egg who came first. As long as the song came out great,
Right.
that's all that
The
really
process
matters.
is like
Yeah. It's really no process with me. Yeah.
And what do you get like right now? Like, what is inspiring you? Like, where you like? Where's the root of your inspiration for most of your music right now?
Well, before when I made the 9th year, it was my ex-boyfriend that I was like dating, and it was just like a lot of kind of like heartbreaking songs. Now 10 plus was just randomly, like it wasn't like inspirational people. It was just like different ideas from different things that I've like experienced and just different ideas or whatever. But now this music now, it might be inspired by my boyfriend because he started writing music and he been getting on my damn nerves making his certain songs. So I'm like, you know what? Let me get in and make my songs.
We got a little friendly competition going on.
Yeah, we got like a little war going on right now.
I gotta have those freestyles against each other. You gotta rep for the ladies though.
Yes, exactly.
All right, well that's exciting. I mean, relationships are obviously one of the main topics in every
life
and in life and in music, and that's we all. I feel like something go wrong in a relationship, that's what you go for. Music.
Yes.
Oh, I can find a song at any point in your relationship.
I feel like music is therapeutic for me. Period. Like it doesn't even have to be relationship. If I'm going through anything, if I'm aggravated or I'm stressed, I just like to record music. Whether it's a song about what I'm going through or it's just a song that I'm making. Period. That has nothing to do with what I'm going through. Just creating the music, like that process, like going in with the engineer or going in with the producers and actually getting on the microphone, hearing myself and recording the song. That feels good.
Right. Well, I'm definitely I'm the same way. Like when it comes to music, I have to feel it.
Yeah.
Everything I go through in life, and I say music is a universal language.
Absolutely.
It's one of those things that I feel like you say, you can go overseas. Right now, someone can relate to your music, and you can be right here in this country, someone can relate to your music, and that's something that I think that as a female rapper, it's important for your message to be so just authentic.
Right.
And I think that that's a great time you've lived a little life so far. You've been through relationships. You're happy. You got a good relationship now. So this is the time for you to just bring that hardcore authenticity.
I got
in
a
your
complicated relationship right now. It's
don't
complicated. It's rough. Love is really rough. I think I'm about to write a book. The next time people interview me and ask me what I'm doing, I'm writing a book. Because I was on my Snapchat and I was writing he's not that into you things like about guys. And it's not about my relationship now, but it's about things I've experienced or things I know from other relationships or things that females tell me that I know that guy's not that into you. Or even that female's not that into you. I just know because I can give you a female's perspective and then I could give you what guys are doing to females. So I was just like writing that and so many girls was hitting me and guys and just get like, oh my God, you need to do a motivational speech. You need to just get up and talk to the people. And I'm like, you know what? I need to write a book about this, like, or have some type of manual script to know before you get in a relationship. You need to read this to know if he's into you or not. Or like how Steve Harvey did his little book.
Think like a man.
Exactly.
Right. What would the name of that book be for you?
I have no idea yet. I'm getting on that.
We're gonna speak that one into existence. I'm gonna read that book. So when that book come out, we all gonna go out and get that book.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get my relationship advice from you.
Yeah. Something it's gonna have something to do with relationship 101.
Right.
Something like that. But yeah, in that sense, because everybody was like, yeah, girl, I was in a relationship for 8 years and this guy was talking to his ex. And I'm like, if a guy is still talking to their ex or, you know, going out to do things for their ex, going out their way, they still like that person because at the end of the day, I'm not saying that you gotta hate an ex or end on bad terms, but when you break up, it's an ex for a reason. You should respect your new relationship. You shouldn't be reaching out to a person that you used to deal with if you're with a new person because that new person is gonna feel away. Like, and you will have a problem if they reaching out to their old person. That's what moving forward is about. You just
wrote the first chapter of your book. Exactly. That's the first chapter. We already got we pinned that.
Moving forward.
We did that. All right, so then how do you feel like, how do you balance all of this going on in your life? Your personal life, the music, the TV?
I juggle it around. Like,
well,
I mean, it's not balanced like on it's all over the place. I get it done. Like, it's so much more things I want to do in life. So this is right now, it's not saying it's nothing, but it's just like baby. This is like an infant to what I plan on doing. Right. So, you know, I'm a businesswoman. I learned throughout the years. I've been in the business for going on 12 years now. It seems crazy because when people say 12 years, you're like, well, how old are you?
Right.
But I've been in the business since I was 14. So I've learned a lot of things. I learned the do's and don'ts, and, you know, like never give up if it's something you want to do. And it's just a lot more that I want to accomplish. So
right.
I got a long way to go. So I'll be juggling way more than
And that's good because I believe there's longevity with your career because we've seen you from that little, you know, teenager. Now you're a grown woman and you really out here, you're doing amazing things. You got the music coming.
Right.
Well, you have it here. Right. I'm sorry, you got the television. We got this book coming out.
Right.
We got all of this happening right now. So it's longevity with your career and they're going to continue to grow and just take off.
Definitely.
So this is exciting. Yeah. And so obviously, you know, we reached our end. Is there anything like that you want to tell your fans that they don't know about you? Like just maybe like 2 or 3 things that
people
wouldn't
always
know.
asking me that. What do y'all don't know about me? It's a lot of things that the fans don't know about me. But most important that I just want the fans to do is, like, you know, a lot of people nowadays, they just judge you off of what they see, or like they judge a lot of love and hip hop artists just because of, you know, the stigma that the show has. And I would like them to, you know, not every single artist, because some people on the show really aren't artists. I'm not throwing shade or anything. I'm saying some people are a girlfriend of a famous person and then they decide to do music. But it's actually talented artists. And as of like this cast of New York, we have a lot of people who really do music. As Safari, Little Mo, Mariah, Jacquay, myself. You get what I'm saying? So you can't really keep judging a show. You know, Cardi came off the show and made it big, and Remy Ma's on the show and she's a big artist. So you can't really just say, you know, that show, it doesn't really represent music. You know, so I want the fans to really, you know, not judge the artists that are on the show based on the show. Like really, if you like an artist, you know, look into their music. If you don't like artists, still look into the music. Regardless, you still got to see what you hating on. You got to do your research anyway.
You always should do your research. And
exactly.
And because you have so many talented artists on your Love and Hip Hop, is anyone within that cast that you would love to like collaborate with that they got the right energy for you?
Remy's like one of my big sisters. I've been I knew her since I was a kid. She put me under the wing before she went into prison or whatever, and I wrote her while she was away, and then when she came home, it was the same love. And I didn't want to, like, reach down, like, you know, jump on her back, like, you home, let's get a record done right now. Like, you know, I kind of let her do her thing, and now it's like, all right, you been home, you working on a baby with Pat, I need my record, like, you know, so I'm about to put out a mixtape, Queen of Harlem Volume 1, in May, and then I'm gonna actually be working on getting a new deal and doing an album. So I want her to be one of the main features on that album. You know, definitely just representing the brown skin. You know, she had a new Melanin Magic song out, and I had Faith in These Brown Skins out. So it's just like basically I want to do something bigger. You know, connected to.
And I think that like we keep just, it's just been a trending topic of the conversation of just girl power and just women sticking together. So you and Remy bringing that for the brown girls, that's what we need to see that.
Facts. And I'm also collaborating with Safari. He's gonna be the lead role in my video Miss You, which is the first song on 10 Plus, the album. And Jacquay, he's on all my stuff. That's like my bro. You know, so
and Safari is he having a moment right now. So get him while he hot.
Well, so, he does good. He'll be hot for a while.
Right, he gonna be hot for a while. He has good energy like you. So well, thank you for taking the time out to speak with me. And you guys, make sure you go out and support her album as well as watch her on Love and Hip Hop. Bianca, it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, well, y'all check her out.